Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode. And I guess today, for the third time in a row, we're going over another company that I really don't think has a great outlook. Uh, but hopefully, I get back to some of the companies that I think do have great outlooks, and I would love to give thesis on those because those are more interesting to me than just ranting about why companies are going to fail, or at least not give you the returns that you want. All right, so let's take a look at essentially what the recent performance of PayPal has been. In this year, it's gone down about 20% from start of the year. It's rebounded from the all-time lows, but still it is not really doing that well this year. So let's take a look at the reasons why. So core business PayPal, where they are a payment processing essen- system where you can move money around, and they also have a service ecosystem that they're not really a leader in anything that is there, but they just have a lot of stuff just jammed in there, right? So processing payment is about 91% of their revenue. So what this is processing payment for online vendors. So this is for credit cards, for debit cards, for PayPal, using your PayPal balance, things like that. And they're able to get money off of that transaction fee. It's really weird because it's like they're trying to be Mastercard or Visa without the network behind it. And so it's not really that great for them as a whole, right? They also have this ecosystem, which I mean, I'm going to go through this really quickly simply because, like, it doesn't matter to the company as much. It's 9% of their revenue, so who cares? They have Venmo, buy now, pay later options, capital loans, fraud security, crypto services. None of these are that great. If you're going to go crypto, just go Coinbase or a plethora of other options out there. You can even just go buy like spot Bitcoin ETFs at this point. Venmo is just peer-to-peer transferring. You're not really getting money out of that. The only time you can get money out of it is if people are trying to do like one-day transfers. But that's just I don't know anyone who's actually done that, and it's not even if I get the option, I don't really think about it. Buy now pay later options. Why are you not using Klarna or Firm or are there more essentially integrated options? And this is going to be something that comes back time and time again. Is going to be this question: why are you using PayPal? Why there's so many other options that are there that are probably better. So why in the world are we using PayPal? What is the what is the service amount for PayPal? What is the reason for this company? Not necessarily existing, but what more does it provide that other companies aren't able to give you as well? So let's go with the tailwinds here. I do think that there is one tailwind that might actually be pretty good for it's okay for PayPal, but all three of these are kind of mid for PayPal because PayPal just isn't enough of a market leader to actually take advantage of these tailwinds. Where e-commerce growth, you got digital wallet adoptions, you have expansions into emerging markets as people get richer around the world and they get more smartphones and they're able to use items like that. PayPal can take essentially a leap forward with these items. So let's actually get into this a bit more. E-commerce growth. Like once again, final question there, right? Why PayPal over credit cards? You can type if you're buying things online, you're on a computer. Why not just type your credit card number in? That feels safer, that feels more secure. Why are you using PayPal? It's nice to have PayPal to pay for items digitally. Yes, most places have options for PayPal. Yes, that's the argument. But really, the question is, why are you using PayPal over credit cards? Why not something else easier? Right. So that's why I really think this, even though there is going to be a growth in e-commerce, I don't think this is going to impact PayPal that greatly. There's a wallet adoption. More people are using PayPal, right? They have a strong name recognition, so it's pretty easy to say, hey, I have a digital wallet when I have it as PayPal. But why PayPal? Why not use like Apple Wallet? What is the point? What does PayPal give you that other companies and other services aren't giving you? I'm going to keep harping on that. And this is really a big question and an issue for PayPal as a company to sustain growth and expansion into emerging markets. They do have 400 million active daily users. Sorry, not active daily users, but active users. It's not really great considering how many people are in the world and how many people are using these purchasing services. They can supplement things like cross-border money payments, right? That things like remittances that Visa or Mastercard, sure, a couple things slip through the gap, and you can send it through PayPal, and you can monetize the sending of money, right? Like if you say you want the money today, you can monetize it back to your bank. But once again, why would you be using PayPal? There are other services like Cash App, like Zelle, that are essentially better for these type of activities, and you don't have to pay a service fee on top of it. So I do think, even though this is a thing that can help PayPal, this impact is relatively low. Headwinds. This is an area I know I'm blitzing through this really quickly because all of these really come down to that second question. Why PayPal? It comes down to its competition and why PayPal. Because a lot of the competition here that we'll see, you have something like Apple Pay, Google Pay for digital payment. So why PayPal? Zelle and Cash App are better ways of sending money. I understand if you want to send money to one, then you might use them. So that's the one argument you can say that PayPal has an advantage there. But people still use Zelle quite as easily. And this isn't a case where it's like S&P Global and Moody's where using one necessitates the usage of another. This is direct competition. There is no, hey, I'm going to use Zelle for half my money and I'm going to send the rest of it via Venmo. That's not something that people do. So they can fight there, but there's not much money to be made there since Zelle is free. And I guess Cash App is really the only argument, and the argument there would simply be that you can send it across borders. But in that case, that amount of money is not really that much considering all most transactions stay within borders. Specialized fintech, and this is going to be like crypto exchanges because PayPal typically has Bitcoin opportunities. But once again, why are you buying on PayPal? Why aren't you buying on spot ETFs? Why aren't you buying on like Coinbase, Robinhood, right? You have so many other items to use PayPal on, other items instead of PayPal to use. So it doesn't make sense to use PayPal. So I do think this competition is a very high impact for them. And this is the very big thing that comes back over and over and over and over again. Why the hell are you using PayPal? It's not, they're not the market leader in any area. They're the jack of all trades, master of none. They don't really give you benefits in any way, shape, or form. So why are we using PayPal? What is the business use case for PayPal? I have not heard a great use case that I can't be done for something else. And just with the same amount of convenience. Yes, PayPal used to have this great brand name and integration. They were doing a lot of stuff. But now it's like, why why is this a thing that you even recommend? Other than Venmo sending money around, PayPal really doesn't have a niche to stake its claim. Yes, they probably will still be able to grow simply due to the markets growing, and they aren't really a dead company. But the growth opportunity just isn't there compared to a lot of other companies. So that's my overall thesis about PayPal. And I know this video is coming out and going through it really fast, but really the thesis can probably boil down to two words, and you've heard me say it over and over again. Why PayPal? What's intriguing about it? It is a payment service that is lacking behind everyone else. It is a crypto exchange that really doesn't help you do any type of trading. It is just there as technically an option. I guess we need competition, and PayPal technically is competition, but it's not market leader for anything. It's hard to see any growth path, and it's just trying to struggle to stay afloat, right? So that's really what it comes down to. So I guess I'll give you guys a price point for this, but I really have a target of it at $57 for 57 and 50 for next year. I don't see much potential in the company. I really think that the company itself is just why? Oh, why does it exist? How has it not gone out of business? And I just feel like it's one of these companies. Sorry, give me one moment here. Sorry, I'm back, but I had to change that whole to a cell. But really, the question is, this is the first time I've gone through the analysis of a company and really been just disappointed in what I'm finding because it's just over and over again. It's why? At least Snapchat had an opportunity to grow with augmented reality. At least Lululemon does have brand recognition and people do think about it. And it once was that market leader, and I do think that they have opportunities to grow more outside the United States, but PayPal's the first one where I'm thinking, why? I honestly, if you were to put a gun to my head and force me to buy PayPal or to buy Snapchat, I think I'd be more willing to buy Snapchat than PayPal, which is a wild thing to say, and I never thought I'd say that. Anyway, I do think both of them are sells, so I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you guys enjoyed this video, let me know. If any of my analysis was wrong, if you guys disagree with me on anything, hopefully vehemently, because I want to know more about PayPal. There's nothing that's in here that makes me think of it as a company that is doing anything. And yeah, let me know any other companies you guys would like me to analyze. And yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you for supporting me.